Hello, in this video we're going to look at how we can use Excel to handle some large data sets. Specifically, we're going to talk about how to load multiple spreadsheets that are within a folder, load all those into one master spreadsheet, and then create a pivot table to pull out some relevant data, and then talk about creating that once we have a method that works, how we might want to create a template for future workflow moving forward for projects that are related to if you're doing this multiple times, maybe just some different data, but the workflow is the same. How we might use a template and make things much quicker for the next time. So let's dive into it. So I have this folder named Dairy Barn, and within that folder it contains a bunch of information about cellular data that was collected in the field from when a technician went out and walked the area. And just to add a little context, here's a visual representation of the data. So we had a technician walk and collect data samples from these locations, and that can be seen. So each one of those spots was collected data, and it's shown here. So first of all, we'd like to take all this information and put it into one spreadsheet. One problem right off of the bat is a few of these files are not like the others. So when you're importing a bunch of files into a kind of a master spreadsheet, one thing that is important is those files have to be the same in terms of the columns and the layout and things like that. So these are not the same. There's a couple. So these four don't match, and this one does not match. So we would have to deal with those separately, or discard them, but they can't go in our master data set for what we're working on. In this particular situation, for what we're dealing with, that's fine, because this is data from older CDA MA type of collection data that was basically no longer relevant, and this is for public safety. So we'll be dealing with this one on a separate basis anyways. So just telling it to grab these, so you do have to look at your data ahead of time and have some sense of what it looks like. And on top of that, we can see that some of these they don't even have data in them anyway, so it was most likely that there was nothing to collect, so nothing went in the file. So, but we can take a look and see. If we open one of these up, we can take a look. So this is the structure. So what we want to do is just be able to open all the. So it's quite a bit of data, but we want to make it even more data by taking each one of these and making it a big long spreadsheet. So let's look at how we can do that. Okay, so here we are over in Excel, and what our goal here is that we want to import each one of these spreadsheets into a single spreadsheet. The important thing to note right off the bat is to know your data, and hopefully you're lucky and every one of your spreadsheets is the same, because they'll have to be. So take a look at your data, and if you may know it anyway, so you might not have to do it, but and make sure that each one of those spreadsheets is the same as the other one, or this will not work. In fact, I had to sort through some of these. Some of the data came in as for a different category of signals, and the data does not lay in the same as these main surveys. So I actually had to pull those out of this folder first to make this work. So you may have to do that as well. I'm sure you have data that's different than this. So it's going to be on a case-by-case basis, but this is the folder that you're going to shoot for. So to get there, you want to go Data, and then Get Data, from File, and then from Folder. Grab the folder where it's at, and then just do Open. And you're going to be presented with this. The temptation here is to combine and load if you are 100% confident that your data is formatted the way it should be. But let me show you a quick example, because this is the problem we're going to run into. What we'll do is do combine and transfer data, or transform data. So if we do this, this comes up. You can just go ahead and accept the OK. But what we want to do is it's loaded in this page right here, this transform page. I come over here, and this is once again, so you're going to know what you want to do with your data. I know that there's two categories in here that I care about. One is the, where are they at in here? So I want the reference signal receive power and the reference signal receive quality. Those are the two of all this data that's in here. This is really, for what we're doing here, this is all I care about. So, but this formatting is funky, and I believe this is saying it's formatted as text. And the problem is when you try to put that into a pivot table, it won't know what to do with it, which is odd, because when you look at it, you'll swear that it's formatted as a number once you load it all in, but it's not. So this is just an advisory that you may want to run through the transform and check the columns that you're probably gonna be working with numbers. So the easiest thing to do is just to come over here and just straight up call it a decimal. Don't worry about the null, that's fine. It's just saying that there's no data in these columns, which I expect, because there's nothing for that channel. So after you get done with that, then you can do close and load, and that will bring all your data in. And there we go. We've got the data for this drive survey imported. So for a quick review, let's try that again with another data set. So we come up to data, over to get data, file, folder, grab what you want. This time we're going to do this one, and let's go ahead and open it. Let's take a look at this data. So what you want to do is do combine and transfer, and then go ahead and hit OK, and it's going to load up that transform again. Come over here and find the so you see this one, this data came in, you see that already formatted in a decimal format. So I don't know why. Sometimes it does, sometimes sometimes it plays nice, sometimes it doesn't. So it doesn't hurt to check to make sure that because you'll have all kinds of problems when you go to run the pivot table if you don't do that. So once you verify that that's fine, then just do close and then load, and there you go. It brings it all in, and it gives you your data that you need. And so here's all your data. Really, to help get your head around it, it's the best thing to do is create a pivot table. So in the next video, we're going to look at how to do that. Thanks for watching.